Welcome back to Keeping It Real. I'm David Grossman. Delighted to have back with me today Gary Nusca. Call Gary a visionary. He started using the internet before people even started sending emails. He was building systems for real estate agents, and my oh my, you dedicated your life to helping real estate agents connect with each other from all over the world and access these amazing tools.
You know, in one respect, some people go to their job and they're working. To me, this is a way of life.
Right.
And I kind of enjoy it.
Well, that helps to get up in the morning if you enjoy it. So it's pretty awesome. This ISeeIWorld that you've developed. ISeeIWorld.net, .ca,
.us for the United States.
And hopefully .tv before too long.
Yes.
We'll put that into play. So thanks very much, Gary, for coming back and for supporting the show. So we've got, it's like Computer Central here. We've got 3 different computers on the table.
Right.
One of them is connected to our system. We're going to look at a website on ISeeIWorld called ISeeIWorld.net/apps.htm, which we'll put on the screen from time to time for people to check in. And you have all these apps there. Some are yours or some are not yours, but they're tools for real estate agents to do things more efficiently.
That's correct.
So let's take a look at the page first, at this ISeeIWorld.net/apps.tm, and we talk through a few of them.
Okay, and you want to make sure we say apps.htm. HTM is that's the HTML markup that we talk about. That's how people sort of convey things on the internet, draw something up and showing it on the internet. It's called HTML.
Okay.
The old way of doing things was HTML4. Today, the new way is HTML5. And there's little different things going on. But in HTML5, you're able to write a website onto one of these devices, which is the iPhone. Now, there's lots of devices out there. There's iPhones. There's the new iPhones, iPhone 3, 4, 5. And then there's the Androids. There's the Blackberries. And all of these different phones, there's special little things that you can do with a thing called an app. And there's so many apps out there that are very, very exciting that can do a lot of nifty things. And we're going to talk about that. And some of these things you can run on your iPad and all your other devices as well. The little bigger ones, such as you'll see like the iPhones. Mm-hmm. This is an iPad, for instance, that people should have. And I'm recommending every single person in real estate should have one of them because of this one very app alone that we're about to discuss.
Okay,
are you ready?
Do tell. I'm excited.
Okay, here we go. And it's the Realtor one. And you're going to see that I'm just going to click on Realtor. We're not going to show this on this program, but hopefully on the next programs we're going to be able to. But you have to go onto the actual device itself and download it. You're not going to see this on a computer.
Okay.
And that's because some of these apps automatically detect what it is that you do.
If you hold it up to this camera, we might be able to see it.
So
this is Realtor.ca,
This is Realtor.ca. Now, if you notice, I got a whole bunch of apps here. And when I open up Realtor.ca, you have to download it through the iTunes.
Okay.
Okay. And when you click on Properties Near Me, now I'm a realtor. I'm not from this area, but I probably have more information at my fingertips than any even local broker that doesn't have this.
Okay.
And the reason is, there's the blue dot. There's where we appear. We're located right there.
You didn't pre-program that. That's, of course, the GPS inside the iPad.
That's right.
Okay.
I was in Timmins 2 weeks ago. I did the same thing in Timmins, and I'm able to bring up properties right on the screen. Now, when I click on that number there, what's going to happen is it should work to bring up things, and I'm just waiting for it to appear. All of the properties in this area will come up. Let's try it again. I'm going to go back, click on Properties Near Me. You can see it working. Up comes all of these little symbols, and if I click on, say, number 7, here comes a property at 8 Mason Park Court for $288,000. Now, if I do this, all of the properties in that area are coming up. If I go back, click on Properties Near Me, I can pick other properties. And you know, if you're in your car, you're driving around with a customer and you're showing homes and you're ready to go into a home that you set an appointment, and all of a sudden there's a sign that you see across the street,
Right.
and your customer asks you, well, how much is that one? You don't really know sometimes.
That's true.
Whereas you can just go right to this app, click on that, if this is where you were, and you can say, oh, that particular one is $620,000. It's 4 + 3 bedrooms, and that might be over the price range, and immediately you can rule that out as maybe for your particular customer.
Right.
So you've got information at your fingertips, and if you watch this, you've got all, and if it was something that they were interested in, you can actually show the pictures right inside the house while you're sitting in the car right outside of the property.
That's pretty cool.
So in our business, we say that we really sell service. Doesn't this really give good service to your customers if you can bring up property
Immediate
prices?
access to very rich information.
Absolutely. And to not have this is I call it one of the final tools of the trade of this whole internet explosion.
Right.
All this information is out there, but how do you make good application? Well, if you've got it at your fingertips because of this one nice app, away you go. Some of the other apps of the business category for commercial realtors is the one called ICX. It does the same thing. So you can search ICX under those apps, the same thing will come up. You'll have another nice app that'll bring up all the commercial properties in the area.
Okay.
Now,
And this is an app for the iPad?
This is an app for the iPad, and it'll also work on your iPhone.
Okay.
Okay, and they work just marvelously well, just really, really nice.
Very neat.
Now, another one is ISeeIWorld.net. We also have one. If you bring it up on your iPhone, it automatically recognizes your phone and will bring up not an app, but it's what the Toronto Star is doing. Instead of, they were going to an app, but they changed to have sort of a website designed for an iPhone.
Okay.
It's not exactly an app.
Okay.
Okay, but if you go
it's a
there,
website designed for an iPhone.
That's more like it.
Right.
Okay, so and that's pretty well what we did with ISeeIWorld, and instead of having the cost, which can be from $5,000 to $28,000 and more to build an app, you can get away with a website design that does the same thing. You make everything smaller and fit it in, and it produces the results. ISeeIWorld has two things. We have a little, not an app, but an application. And if you want to see that one, just go to ISeeIWorld.net/BB for BlackBerry.
Okay.
It'll work on your iPhone, on your Android, and everything. Just smaller information at your fingertips. In all cases, everyone should become familiar with how to put their favorite result onto their iPhones and BlackBerries and their iPads. What you do is when you visit a site, up at the top of the page, you're going to see a URL. If that's the URL that you like, you can click on this little button up here that says Add to Home Screen.
Okay, right.
And when you add that to the home screen, let's say I was in Mississauga at the Mississauga Convention Center this morning. They were having their annual trade show for the real estate board. Well, if you want the latest listings in Mississauga, you can bring them right up on the screen, and then you save it to your home screen. Once a day, click on it and see what's the new listings.
Right.
Just like that.
Very handy.
Yeah.
Very handy.
So that's another app from ISeeIWorld. Now, let's get into some real different ones. One like FaceTime.
Okay.
FaceTime is marvelous. It allows you to see the people that you're talking with on the other side of the earth or any place in the world through your iPad.
Like sort of like a video conference?
It's a video type in a sense. You can actually see them talking to you. Now, usually they have to use FaceTime if they have it.
Yes.
And a lot of times you'll do it with family members, but you could set it up with business members. We've been using it for family. I have a daughter that's in Spain, and we can actually talk with her through FaceTime.
Right.
And see her, and she can see us.
Very cool. So it's similar to Skype.
You can do that with Skype. Everyone's telling me to. Yes.
Right. Right.
Okay, so maybe you can do it with Skype as well.
Right. But I don't. But the BlackBerry doesn't have I don't think you can do it with the
I'm not
BlackBerry.
familiar with that. If anyone knows, send us. By the way, anyone that has suggestions or tips, because we're going to do a continuing monthly thing with these different things, people can, I think, can send us a simple email to service@ISeeIWorld.net, or maybe to yourself.
Sure.
Do you want to?
David.Grossman@alltalktv.com.
You know, and then make suggestions for us what they'd like us to maybe kind of talk about
That would
sometimes
be
on
great.
these real
That
estate
would be
things.
that's a good idea.
Kind of fun.
Yes.
So those are some of the things for the iPad. We've got a list of about 40 of them, which we'll cover in some subsequent sessions next month.
Excellent, excellent. Now, do we have a little bit of time? I think we have a couple minutes to look at these websites.
If
because
we
I was blown away, Gary, when you showed me this.
Yes.
Yesterday. So do we have some on the screen there that we can show?
Actually, we do. And let me see. Let's bring up this one here. Just one second. There we go. Wait a minute. Oh, here's the one that I wanted to show right now. Go ahead. Okay. You can bring that up on the screen. Now, we have to, I think all real estate people should get very, very excited about this. One of the most powerful, and I mean powerful tools of the internet is having a website. And it's so easy to do nowadays. There's a lot of companies out there that are doing it. We're also doing it, but we also support all websites. Now, a website, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you have a website with 1 or 10 listings, or you have a website with 1,000 listings, which one is more likely to trigger a call?
Well, I would say the 1,000 listings.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you have a website with 1,000 listings, or a website with 10,000 listings, which one is more likely to trigger a call?
Well, the more you see, you feel like you're tapping into to a serious resource.
Exactly.
Right.
Next question. Most brokers can have what they call an IDX link, Internet Data Exchange is what it's called, and a DDF link, which is another kind of a data display where other brokers agree to allow their listings to be on your website.
Okay.
And then you can agree or disagree
right.
to allow your listings to be on their website and vice versa.
Okay.
It's a form of a handshake.
Yes.
Real estate boards are doing it now. The Toronto Real Estate Board has an IDX link, and a broker can opt in or opt out. It's not all the listings at the Toronto Real Estate Board. Only the brokers that opt in are allowing their MLS listings to be displayed on other brokers' websites to people that sign the appropriate legal agreements with TREB.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We install those links, by the way, on all brokers' websites that are part of that.
Yes.
And part of our service as well. In addition to that, there's a company such as Point 2 Agent, which we are an official agent with and an official educator, and we totally design up these websites. And the website that you're going to see on the screen now, if you could bring it up, is one gentleman that I was showing it this morning because we were at the Mississauga Real Estate Board, and this is a Mississauga real estate type website where Manzoor has consented or designed this particular home, and there's his information on the screen. I mean, what's fantastic about this, they're only $19 a month.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So they're very reasonable, but the access to all that information was I mean, they're nicely designed. You have a whole variety of templates.
I'm going to be
that
showing
people
you.
can choose from.
There's 50 brand new ones, less than 2 weeks old
But there was also the access to exclusives.
Yes. And
which I thought was pretty incredible because, I mean, I'm not a real estate agent, so I'm not intimate, but I think getting the word out on your exclusives is a serious challenge.
Yes. And
so
it's very
exciting you have a solution for that.
Yes, a couple of solutions.
So let's have a look because you were showing me yesterday all these amazing pictures.
Let's get right into it. If you want to bring up the website, we'll start right here. And I'm going to bring up the website, and you're going to notice that there's a drop-down screen appears. If we're able to bring up the website, I'm going to move off it. I'm going to move on it so that you can see the drop-down screen. Now, the first one says TOGTA. Toronto, the Greater Toronto Area residential, and the next one is the condos. I'm going to click on the condos, and there's a very exciting reason why I'm going to do that. I'm going to go down the page, and we're going to see that there's condos coming up. And you're going to notice that the third one down, the one for 2.49, is MLS. Can you see that right down there at the bottom right corner?
Yes.
It says MLS.
It's
but
just,
the other
barely
two
showing at the top. Yeah.
But the other two.
Oh, right. The other two are exclusive.
That's right. Now I'm going to go down a little farther. Next one, exclusive. 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 MLS. Exclusive. So some people are not knowing that there's a lot of exclusive listings coming out on the market now.
Right.
And for various reasons, which I'm not going to go into today. In fact, we can sometimes ask these brokers, why they're doing it. But the point is, there's a lot of exclusive listings coming up here. Now, the exciting thing is, when I click on it, I'm going to show you what's going to come up on the screen, and you're going to see an absolutely fantastic slideshow display start to take place of interior slideshows. Now, keep in mind, there's 2 billion people on the internet, and anybody from around the world can see this. Now, a lot of brokers, I asked them how many listings they have, and the average broker in North America, from Florida to California to Vancouver to Montreal, they have less than 5 listings on a real estate board.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that means that if you have a website with less than 5 listings, you have very little chance to trigger
it's not
a
very
lead.
exciting. It's about as good as it's a brochure, but it's not information of much use.
That's right.
For anybody who's looking for properties. Whereas here, they're going to see all these properties, and I understand that if they want more information, they have to call the person whose website it is, right? Because otherwise they can't find out.
Site again, flashing back. You're doing a great job, our director on the TV here, bringing it back to the website. You'll see that the agent's name can be on the right-hand side here.
Right.
Now, this morning when I was at the show at the Mississauga Convention Center, I had people saying, well, I'm not that computer literate to know how to do this. Well, back in 1999, there were people paying $25,000 to take these pictures and to fit them onto a computer.
Right.
Today, it's down to $19.99, and it's a turnkey solution.
Yeah, that's
in other words, you call a company like ours, ISeeIWorld, and bingo, we're able to totally get this all up and designed and set up for you.
Right. Now, these exclusives, are they residing? Because I know that there's other places that people can go right on ISeeIWorld and find all kinds of properties all over the world as well, which is separate from the websites, but it's information that's in your database.
And it's a link. We now supply that as a link to the industry.
Okay.
And here's how it works. I'm going to go down these choices on the screen, if you can show that website again. And you're going to see I'm going to show one of the choices in the essence of time. This one down here called Ontario Commercial, and we've just come up with another one called Ontario Residential, just within the last 3 weeks.
Ontario Commercial. I like that. That sounds interesting.
That link, all brokers can place it on their website for a small fee.
Okay, so they can just have the link.
They have the link. Now I'm going to click on it and show you what's in that link. And you'll see there's a statement at the top here that we subscribe to a global commercial real estate broker center of haves and wants. When any of the following interest you, or you wish to place your haves and wants for internet worldwide exposure, please feel free to give me a call. And you'll see all the commercial listings come up. Apartment buildings, shopping centers, land. And if I was to click on apartment buildings, a couple of important things that are going to happen. And you'll see how fast things come up. There's now over 1,000 apartment buildings on each of our members' websites, starting from $19 million on down.
That's amazing.
80%, actually in this category, 90% of them are exclusive.
Wow. That's incredibly valuable information.
It is.
And that could generate some serious leads.
And serious commissions. In fact, some of the largest commissions now being done on the industry are a result of members on ISeeIWorld making connections.
I can believe it.
And a lot of commissions. Now, here's the exciting thing. And David, I don't know how to say this, but when was the invention of sliced bread?
Sliced bread. Lior, when was the invention of sliced bread?
It was one of the greatest inventions. You slice bread and you can eat bread in a sandwich, right?
Right.
Well, I can't click on these message numbers.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
What does that mean?
That means you have to call the person whose website it is and buy that $10 million building.
That's right.
Right.
So a person who has no listings or 5 listings all of a sudden has lots of listings on their website.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this all, by the way, depends on 2 things. One, they've got to get some traffic going.
They've got to get traffic.
But we're jumping the gun. We'll cover that in another
that's
session.
That's another one. Well, let's talk about that next time, because that's a good question.
We actually have attended World Search Engine Conventions.
Oh, okay.
Where we've spent several $1,000s attending, where Microsoft and Google were there, and Yahoo, and they were all there. We had workshops for the whole week learning how to do all this stuff.
Okay,
and we went there to get that knowledge to help all of our members.
Oh, that's good. Well, maybe he can help us too, because
absolutely, it applies to everyone's. It's not just what we're doing, but it applies to all websites. We can get into that, meta tags, keywords, all those other things.
Okay.
But that's a subject of another session.
Okay. Okay.
In this case, somebody is interested in one of these listings. They have to call this broker. Now, I often ask brokers, is there anything better than listing and selling real estate?
Not if you're a broker.
Well,
I suppose, unless maybe sitting on the boat.
There's a way to sit on the boat and do what I'm about to say.
Sell enough of those $10 million buildings?
Or doing a referral.
Okay.
Because a lot of residential people, we recommend that the commercial buttons go on the residential sites and vice versa.
Right.
Because if a residential broker who is licensed, first of all, in the province of Ontario, if they get an inquiry on one of these buildings,
right,
they can say, the person says, can you help me?
Mm-hmm.
You can simply say, yes, I'll have someone call you back.
Okay. So they may not feel qualified to deal with a property that size, but what, they can get somebody from their office or somebody they've referred to before that's had more experience in commercial, and then they don't even have to do the work.
You got it.
Right.
What do they get for that? It's open to whatever you want to negotiate, but 25% is an industry-wide sort of figure that a lot of people use. So in other words, if I call the other broker who's got that property advertised, but the call came in from my website because I was the one that generated the lead,
right,
I call that other broker and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral fee okay with you?
Sure, why not?
Now, you're providing a great service to the public, because the public might never have found that property if it wasn't for your website.
Yeah.
Now, that's a 5-minute phone call. It's
right.
averaging $3,000 to $10,000.
And $19.99 a month.
And it's only $19
right.
a month. And people that don't have it, I think they're going to be, over the next 1, 2, 3 years, they're going to start to appreciate what's really going on with, I'm calling the ultimate tools in the internet. I've been doing this now since 1994, but this baby, the iPad, where you can pull up your own very own website on this thing and show people. I carry it around on a strap with me all the time.
Right.
And you'll be surprised the situations you can be in where you're just chatting with somebody over nothing, even somebody you're playing sports or going to your activities, and you happen to be sitting down and having a smoothie after working out, and bingo, they're talking real estate, and you show them a couple things, and they become real interested, and you got yourself a new client.
Yeah. Because
you got information at your fingertips.
That's pretty handy. Very impressive to have that. In fact, I was at a coffee shop the other day with somebody, and they pulled out their iPad and they started showing me some things, and I thought, you know what? I said, I almost drove by a Future Shop on my way to a meeting. I figured, no, I can wait another week. I don't have to get it immediately. Let me.
The pressure is on, isn't it?
But yeah, it's pretty impressive when you can, you're having a casual meeting and coffee shop, or somebody's in your car, like you were saying before, a client, and you just pull that iPad out and listings and all kinds of information.
And these websites show fabulously. The customers who own a home, they want to sell a home, when they see the way you're displaying homes on their on the website and worldwide exposure.
Yeah.
And so it's really quite exciting.
Pretty powerful stuff.
One other interesting thing here that is unique. There's a whole list of buyers here for buildings as well. In other words, when you go on a listing presentation, and people wonder, how many buyers, are you really connected into everything? You can actually click on a list of buyers here, and when I clicked on it, I'm doing it for apartment buildings
This is
right
still
now.
on the that person's website.
That's still on that person's website. That's right. The person can see that you've got a list of 500 buyers
Right.
of apartment buildings. That shows how well connected you are into the marketplace of buyers.
Right. That's pretty incredible.
That's a powerful listing tool.
Yes.
We've had some of our brokers get power of sales from banks over other brokers because of it.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty awesome information you guys have pulled together, and these websites are a great way to make it accessible to everybody, not just realtors, right? A way to attract clients. We're pretty much out of time. Is there anything that you wanted to share with us today that we've missed? We were going to just mention the Find My iPhone. You were telling me that that's on the top of your list, right?
That is a very, very exciting one. There's been some stories, and I'm going to suggest that you make sure that you Find My iPhone is on your iPhone, because if you ever lose it, there's a way to locate it. And you can locate it by using another iPhone or another device or your computer, and there's a way to locate it. And I'm going to suggest that if you want to read some very, very exciting things that have happened where people have lost their iPhones or had them stolen, and they were able to get them located. And these are called iPhone success stories. They're on the internet. If you just go Find My iPhone success stories, you're going to see all kinds of stories where people have left their iPhones either in a bar or in a restaurant, and then they couldn't find it. One story was he came back and you can activate a sequence to wipe your iPhone dry so that there's nothing on it,
right,
in case you're worried about sensitive information. You can send a signal to the iPhone to set it beeping so people can maybe find it somehow. Or you can just quietly try to figure out where it is. And one person left it on the bench at a restaurant, and they sent a signal to it later, and it found out that the manager accidentally picked it up because he thought it was his phone.
Yes.
So there can be,
that can happen.
Accidental kind of things.
So it's got this GPS capability, so you can actually locate it.
Actually, all your phones do. They can track where you are anytime you want.
Right. Okay.
And you can use it for that too,
right,
for various reasons.
Right.
Another gentleman had one stolen, and it was tracked down to a third-floor apartment building about a mile away, where he had just lost it. And they called the police. They tracked it down. Didn't know which apartment was, but they sent a signal to it while the police were going up and down the hall, and they heard the phone going off in one of these apartments on the third floor.
Wow.
And they knocked on a door, went in there, they found a bunch of other stolen equipment, but they didn't find the iPhone because the guy had thrown it out of the third floor window and it crashed down on the floor.
Oh, wow. So all's well that ends well, sort of. But yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. So, Gary, thank you very much for being here and for showing us all these great tools that you have developed and your company has developed at ISeeIWorld.net. Pretty awesome stuff. If you're a real estate agent, commercial or residential, you can have a website that can attract amazing opportunities. So highly recommend you to look more closely into that and sign up for a website if you don't have one. Or if you have a website and all you have on it is your 5 listings, you might want to look at something that can take things to the next level for you. And then, of course, the next thing that will come up, which I'm going to ask you about when you're here next time, is how to drive that traffic. Because if you can drive traffic and you've got that kind of information on your website, you're going to be spending more time on the boat. I'm sure about it.
It's all the more important, too, because on the internet, the highest return on investment, we've heard about that term, ROI, return on investment, in all different aspects, business and real estate. But on the internet, the highest in the industry with the highest return on investment is actually real estate. Because if you get one lead and you sell one property and make $10,000, that's a high return on your investment.
Right.
And that's going on all the time now on the internet. So investments right now should be made into this internet stuff that's all going on, and get yourself these tools and get them working. If they're not working within 90 days, get back to the people that supplied them to you, because maybe you were missing something, and give them a chance to help you fix it.
That's fantastic. Gary, I'm so pleased that you're sharing this with us and with our viewers. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you soon back here on Keeping It Real. I'm David Grossman. The network is All Talk TV. We'll see you next time.